is all pretty colors. So
Self-Destruct sequence activated.
Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Self-Destruct Sequence podcast. I'm Runkly, and this guy with the pretty colors in the middle here.
No, I'm not really here. I don't even really exist. I am a figment of my own hate.
That's a pretty big figment.
That is a profound figment. It is a figment that will cause the destruction of nations. It shall cause it shall cause a revolution, and the people shall rise up and say, "I'm mad, and I'm not gonna take it anymore." It's just a dream I had the other night. Don't pay attention to it.
Are you sure it's not a result of your previous game?
That's enough. We are moving on to actual news and things that are irrelevant.
Did I not give you the episode number?
What is the episode number? It's episode 55.
Yes.
It's 55. Episode 55 on the Self-Destruct Sequence podcast. And Cartman is trying to leak through my voice, but he's not going to. Mm-hmm. I do not have an agenda, so I am flying blind, folks.
Well, there's a reason we don't have an agenda, because there's no news today. There's
no news.
Nothing going on with Descent Underground. And
so there's nothing going with Descent Underground.
Overlord,
there's nothing going on with Neonic says. There's nothing going with
nothing.
Overload. There's nothing going on.
See, I'm getting you to do it. I'm playing this game, and the final boss of the game is called Overlord.
You're talking it into my face in Overlord.
Yes,
no. Overlord is Pinky in the Brain. Brain says he's going to be the Overlord. Anyway, so there's nothing in the excesses. There's nothing to do with the soul contingency. There's nothing 6 degrees related news.
No, I'm afraid not today. So
nothing at all. Nothing to do. Nothing to look forward to.
I mean, we got some things to look forward to on the Descent Ranger side. But
it's a dark future.
Well, we already had Star Wars S'mores yesterday. That was pretty dark. There's smart missiles everywhere. But coming up in 2 weeks, it's going to be September 23rd, 3 p.m. Eastern. Their Descent Rangers will be doing The Need for Speed, Ace difficulty for the levels Speed Racer Pro and Le Mans 2. Very interesting.
Le Mans 2?
Le Mans 2, like the race.
Yeah, Le Mans.
Okay, you know better than I do. It's 2v2 squad games, so definitely go check that out. DescentRangers.com.
I may not have taken French in college or high school, but I do watch a lot of motorcycle racing. It is Le Mans.
Le Mans. Very good. And I mean,
it's just demonstration that this is why this country speaks English, is because at least we know how we can fucking spell phonetically.
Yep.
Sorry for the language on the show.
And the only other thing we got going on, of course, is the observatory. Of course, yesterday we had.
If I may say, simply because we've got people in the audience here, I have no idea why the Germanic-speaking countries have any form of respect for the French language, because I sure as hell don't. I mean, I can understand the English animosity, but France and Germany are we are the economic might of Europe, and we are going to get along. No, you can't get along because you can't understand them. Croissant. Okay, no, it's a puff pastry with a lot of butter. Okay, it's a croissant. Spell it like you say it.
Good luck with that. So, I think to appease you, I'm going to call it. You
sound like you're shoving it up your nose. Croissant.
Yeah, call it Le Mans 2, just for you. So, moving on, we have the observatory. We had the first qualifier for Season 5 yesterday. Had 8 people in the event, and, of course, Jedi Luke 4-0. There were some entertaining matches, though. Melvin Code was unusually entertaining for the disparity of ranks.
Where did they play?
They played in I Don't Care,
Oh,
which ended up, I mean, it degraded, and I got berated by Birdseye for using the word degraded, into a fusion match, which Code, I mean, that guy's got some pretty nice shots at times. Couldn't hold it the entire way. Melvin ended up taking over towards the end of the game, but I mean, I think it was like 20 to 15 or 16 or something. I mean, Code got a lot of points, like way more points than you'd expect someone to. I don't know if it was that high, but it was pretty good. And then we also saw Melvin and Bahamut play, and this was in Ethylene, and Bahamut was just all over him. It was scary how good Bahamut is in there. So some really neat matches in there. Maestro versus Sanity.
yeah, I'm watching the clip that Borcherman posted, and it's the Rickroll in the show.
God!
Yeah.
I wasn't going to talk about that. Yeah, so
it's too bad. It's already there.
It's there. We have to talk about it. Lee and Maestro were playing in Antarctic, and Lee had some out-of-game issues yesterday. He had to start a couple rounds late, and then in the middle of the third round, when he's the last game being played, there's no other games we could possibly show, has to AFK for like 5 minutes, and Maestro, this son of a bitch over here, Rick rolls the entire episode.
I admire his enterprising spirit. And if there was nothing else happening at the time, then I approve of it. But if the two of them had actually colluded to stop the match in order to do that,
I would not put it past these two. But if Lee
that,
hadn't
if
already had things
that was,
happening earlier in the day, then I might have been a little. Yeah, come on, guys.
All right, so in which case I would have, I would go on a warpath. But if this is simply filling the silence, another acceptable meme would have been "Hello, darkness, my old friend,"
Oh, jeez.
And sing the Simon and Garfunkel song. But Rick rolling was probably more appropriate. More people in the audience would have gotten it. So. Good work by Maestro there to keep the audience entertained during a little bit of downtime. Because remember, the observatory, the idea of the observatory, yes, it's cool for the community, but this is one of the best exposure opportunities outside of the community. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, have you been able to notice any uptick in passers-by in any of these matches?
It does happen, yeah. Because I also mention it to a bunch of people that. I deal with outside of the Dissent community, and they'll show up every once in a while. I saw at least 2 people show up yesterday that are from the Necrodancer community, stopping in to say hi. So that was pretty cool. As far as like close matches, that one I just mentioned, Antarctic, Lee won that one 20-17 as the closest match of the day. The second closest match of the day might be a bit of a surprise. It was a 14-minute. I want to call the match slow, but how do you call a 14-minute match slow? In Pillbox X5 between Jedi Luke and Melvin, that was 20-15 in Jedi's favor. Well, Melvin putting up a bit of a fight in there, despite having a bit of trouble with Code. That one that I was telling about was 2013. Speaking of Code, not only did he get his first Observatory win, he almost got it in dominating fashion, beating Leto 2 in KO 20-11. KO is such a funny map. I think that should be the de facto dogfighting map.
Really?
Have you seen it?
No, I have not. I've been told by people prior that I do need to check it out. Birdseye recommended it.
Yeah, it's basically it's got the same weapon loadout as Bluebird, I believe. It might have some concussions in it, but it doesn't have the other missiles. And it's basically in a boxing ring with all the fans that look like the miners that you're trying to rescue.
Okay, so is it an obnoxious sounding level?
No, that's
okay. Good.
No,
because I remember that it was White Noise was the name of the level. And all they did was just put a whole bunch of the fans. Just go through there, and it was just cacophony.
Okay, I don't know if you noticed, but if you ever fly around in observer mode and you fly near a fan, it doesn't sound that loud. Basically, the fans and the reactor got a huge volume nerf for observers because
Well,
it was
thank
just
you
so
so
annoying.
much.
You just can't deal with them. So yeah, that's the observatory. We'll have another one next Saturday, the 16th. That will be.
I hope to actually participate rather than be
Nice.
on the road for 13 hours.
Oh, that's fun. It'll be 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. Another qualifier the week after, and then the Invitational Finals tournament the following week for the conclusion of Season 5. Will we have Jedi Luke Sirius again? We'll find out. So that does it for our observatory news. I understand people have been playing Descent the last 2 weeks.
People have indeed been playing Descent the last 2 weeks. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, they indeed have been playing Descent.
Uh-huh.
And they play on the Descent Rangers Mumble, is where they generally meet to play games of Descent in these days. Yes.
That's
And they
supposed to
do
be
indeed
like
play them.
That's supposed to be a segue to the DCL section.
The DCL is definitely a place where competitive matches that count are played.
Let's talk about the matches in the last 2 weeks, shall we?
I don't want to talk about the matches that are played on the DCL that matter.
This makes me scroll down to your section here.
Please do not. It is a very...
Hold on, I'm doing this.
No, we're not. Well, you know what? It will prolong the pain.
Oh, you know what?
It will prolong... If I just go through...
Hold on.
No. I'm going through the whole list.
No. I have a perfectly...
I will get there.
I have a perfectly good reason why you cannot yet go through the whole list.
Why can I not go through the list?
Because I screwed it up.
You screwed it up. That's a very good reason. Why don't you fix it?
Yes.
No, on a matter of fact, how about we just cancel the whole entire show? And we'll just be glad to tell these people about what happened next week.
Well, to be fair, we only lost... we've already lost the website.
Oh, we didn't renew the URL, so I can't say self-destructsequence.com.
.org, but yeah.
I don't even know. Are we at .com or .org?
We are a
You know,
.org.
that's what I want. Everybody who's watching, tell us should we be .com or .org. There. That'll keep them entertained. They won't care about matches.
Yeah, about that.
What's up?
Yeah, unfortunately, the guy that hosted our site, Dr. Singh, he obviously has not been with us for quite some time, and although he renewed us last year, he didn't renew us this year, so yeah, unfortunately, that means that we are going to have to find some alternative to that, and yeah, I need to figure that out at some point. Let me figure out what's going on here, because this isn't showing all the men. Did you play in the last 2 weeks?
I only played like one match in the last 2 weeks, and
that was the one
like
that's...
two matches, and one of them no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was today. Obviously, both of those matches.
So those
were
won't
today.
be on here because we cut off.
They will not be on
recording.
here.
Okay, then we're fine. Then this is fine.
But it seems as though as if
This is
people
fine.
are really eager to talk about a certain match today.
I mean, you said you didn't want to talk about the matches. You're not even listed on here. Why don't you want to talk about the matches?
Oh, because I thought something was listed on there. And that was part of the matches.
So, Jedi Luke says we should talk about the last game against.
I'm
Lady
not.
Silver.
No. We could wait a whole week for that. That's what we're. No, maybe I don't know. Please, let's do something else.
20 to 18.
Let's do something else, please.
You have the
Ron
document
Clee,
in front of you. You can go ahead and start it.
Ron, no, I don't, because you said it was wrong.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, use it. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine?
It's fine.
It's the same?
It's fine. Everything's fine.
That's what I've been saying, and I don't believe myself.
Well, that's because you lost to Lady Silver 2018.
I did not. Yes, I did. But, ladies and gentlemen, during the time of the 27th of August to the 9th of September, we have played 128 matches on the DCL. 23 of those, let's see, 23, and there was no diamond dark horses there. So 23 matches, diamond and gold. Oh, excuse me. I see 43 bronze and silver matches. There seems to be the greatest crossover there. followed up by 23 matches bronze and bronze, and 23 matches diamond against gold, seeming to be the greatest activity. We're going to go through from the bottom up, which we'll start here with Max. That's a name I haven't seen play games recently. So it's exciting to see that Max has played 4 matches against Code and Jedi Luke. So we're just gonna wave our hands here and say, "Hey, Max, thanks for playing." And then we'll move on to Can I Play Dad, who's played 16 matches. He's undefeated against bronze. You recall that we are, real thumbs up about Can I Play Dad. Can you make the cut for silver? And he did not in his last promotional challenge. Very, very disappointing. But he has just because you didn't make the cut now, it just means that you're not ready yet.
That means you have a month to prepare for the next challenge.
Yes, really. And he's stepped up. Hasn't stepped up his performance because his performance against bronze is still excellent. He is still undefeated against bronze, including 3 close games against Code 2015, all 3 of them in Logic and in Mind Tricks and in Crimson. So
okay, I have to say this. When I see those scores, I would expect these to be in like angled levels from Code. I say angled. I don't really mean angled. Levels that Code are.
No, you mean angled. You mean angled, which is purple and tetrafusion and all that. You mean angled.
Those. But these are core levels, so.
They're core levels, which you see that 2 different ways. One is Can I Play Dad is maintaining mastery over the bronze pilots. On the other hand, you have somebody who is up and coming and doing very well against the one of the best bronze pilots and currently on an undefeated streak in bronze. Can I Play Dad? So that's certainly not anything to shrug at. And then we have threatening scores 17-20, 15-20, and 16-20, all against Maestro in Mind Tricks, Ascend, and Fable. Glad to see that other levels like Fable are getting a little bit of play there. So an excellent showing by Can I Play Dad in the last couple of weeks. We're going to move on to Lito, too, who's put in 20 games.
30. That's a 3.
Excuse me, 30. That's a 3?
That was a 3.
I see. His position is 20. His total games is 30. So, very tricksy, very tricksy. He's been playing a lot of trophy matches, including against the microwave in Ronkley's kitchen that you can hear there, and has in fact won a couple matches against Code in Neptune Descent 2 for the Descent 2 trophy, which he then promptly forfeited. No, wait, this is in reverse order. Either way, I do believe he holds a Descent 2 trophy at the moment. I can't be certain of that. He also had a close game in Awakened, which I believe was a blind match. I'm not certain. 20-18 against Code. And against Silver. Very surprising here. He's got a 19-21 game against Lee for a threatening score in Descent 2 Fourier. And it looks like he's picked up a dark horse. Very surprising. I don't think a lot of people here would have been thinking that Lito would be picking up a dark horse, but it's a 20-15 with 6 suicides in Raitumen.
Very nice. And I know that Lee has traditionally not just beaten Leto in there, but he's dominated him in there, and looks like he's finally turned the tables.
Happy to see the level of activity out of Leto recently, and the enthusiasm for one-on-one games. He's definitely improving. And we move on. We have Code, who's played 62 games, is 17-5 against bronze pilots. And we've got quite a bit here to mention. Lots of trophy matches played for. Just so you know, folks, I'm working with a microwave here that beeps in the background.
Yeah, it's just that I'm not being paid attention to.
So so I don't have like colors to delineate things, so I have to notice them with my 5-year-old eyeglasses. So we'll see if I can catch them all. Here against bronze pilots, we've got lots of close games, some dominations, and lots of trophy matches. I am seeing close games against Lito 2 2015, and I don't care. 23-21 overtime match in Killbox for a dogfight trophy. Let's see here. 20-10 domination in KO for a trophy match. I guess that's dogfight or fusion.
That's dogfight.
All right, so dogfight.
Although knowing these two, it could be either.
You're really 20-5 domination in Vanilla UG for the Fusion Trophy. 20-15 in Kill Box for the Dogfight Trophy. Lots of other defenses in here, but they're 2012, 2013. We're paying attention to the close games here and the dominations. 22 against Max in Killbox, 20-6 against Max in Revnik, and 20-1 against Max in Descent 2 Logic for the Descent 2, again, defending the Descent 2 trophy. Again, reminder that a defense within your tier means holding your opponent to 10 points or less. In silver, Dark Horse matches. Very surprising here. Code has gotten the best of B2AF twice, 22-20 and 20-17 in both of them in KO.
And the third time that these two played KO, it's the match comment is interesting because B2AF says, quote, "Never again will I allow this to happen."
Well, that's the attitude that keeps... I remember sitting on a volcano with Cyrus, and he was beating gold pilots, but he hadn't beaten me yet. And I had told Melvin, I'm going to ride the Cyrus train to gold, and I did. So we'll see if Code actually, this is a demonstration of how you could be at the bronze level, you can be at the silver level, but you could still push a gold and a diamond pilot to be better, regardless of what the score, the average score is between you. There are so many different ways to be good, so many different ways to get underneath your opponent's skin that,
we'll get to that.
players at all levels have value to add to this game. And it can be very frustrating working on the lower end, just being, just getting started on the ladder, and you've put in like 3 months, and where's my win? Shouldn't I have figured out how to win at least once? You are still contributing in some small way. Threatening scores from Code against Maestro, 16-20, 16-20, and 15-20 in Raitumen, UG DCL, which is different from UG Vanilla, and Killbox. So excellent work there. Also, very, very curious here is a 23-25 with 4 suicide overtime loss to Melvin in Tetrafusion.
Yep. And apparently this is like one of the first games where Cyrus has decided he's changing his pilot name to You Mad Bro, and is just like adding a blank comment so that all it says is You Mad Bro.
Wait, hold on here. What's this?
Cyrus is adding comments to this thread because I don't know. I think it looks like Code was not at all happy with how Melvin played towards the end, which, hey, that's... Well, you can use lasers in a fusion match. That's not disallowed. Melvin did that and threw Code off his game. And Cyrus is like replying at various times, just with no text and just his name, which currently is You Mad Bro. Cyrus
Even
being
so,
a troll.
I do recognize that it is within the spirit of a fusion match. It's not for the fusion trophy because it's between tiers. Nonetheless, the idea does still exist of the dark fusion, which I believe I was a pioneer when I beat Rethink. I was in silver and I beat Rethink in a fusion level.
That is true. That is a trophy. You're right. It's not a trophy, but a medal.
Right. So nonetheless, I do understand some sentiment that if you're playing Tetrafusion, the implication is you can't remove level 1 lasers from the game. You simply can't. But that it's a fusion match. Are you supposed to suddenly stop shooting because you don't have a fusion cannon? No, you're supposed to shoot level 1 lasers. But either way, regardless, that was the outcome of the game, and Melvin did not change the nature of the game in order to achieve it. I have to support Melvin here, even though absolutely. Even though I can understand why Code might be upset.
Yep.
And that's all we have to share about.
But we do have to say, I mean, you get 23 on a gold pilot. Win or loss, that's amazing.
Oh, wait a minute. I have to remind myself. Occasionally that Melvin is actually gold. So. This is a pretty significant. This is a pretty significant accomplishment.
Yeah, Jedi Luke saying Melvin made Code tilt. Effective strategy.
But hey, we'll move on. Silver. We'll move on to silver. Lee here with 14 games. He's 11-1 against bronze. No games within his tier. A couple close games against Leto. Otherwise, it looks like status quo here. Playing a lot of Leto. There was that one match against Leto that he dropped in the level that Leto 2 made. But aside from that, maybe looks like a match against Bahamut and Mark. Nothing out of the ordinary report here. Just kind of a wave to Lee. Hey, you played 14 games. Glad to see your name here. Play your own tier, damn it. B2AF putting in 10 matches. He is 1-0 against Silver. Played a lot of games against Code, a couple which we mentioned already. Did put in a 2013 game against Ernie 39-2. Moving on to Maestro, who's put in 32 games, is 20-0 against bronze, as expected. Hasn't played a single silver match at all. Lots of close games.
I find it surprising that Lee and Maestro have played 0 games in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I agree. The Maestro has put in a lot of close games against Can I Play Dad and Code. But what would be noted is the 22-4 domination against Leto in EO.
Yay.
My favorite levels.
No, it can die in a fire.
One of my favorite levels, and has put in a lot of time against Mark 39-2, which is commendable for any pilot. I'm seeing, let's see here, 11 games against Mark 39-2 in the last couple of weeks. So bravo to Maestro. Hello to Phyrix, who's de-rusting a little bit, as he admitted in my game against him today. He put in 3 games, a couple games against Bronze, and a game against Jedi Luke. We're just going to wave at him as we walk by. Ernie 39-2, who has apparently retired because he's a butt, has switched over to a game controller like B2AF, and is currently still learning that controller before he returns back to competitive play. We move on to Gold, where we say hello to Demo, sitting at spot number 21. Played 17 games, 16 of those against Diamond Pilots. One of those is threatening. 19-21 against Jedi Luke with 8 suicides in Logic 2. That's all of note from Deimos, because he's only really played Jedi Luke, Mark 39-2, in 1 game against Can I Play Dad. Melvin, sitting at spot number 4, has played 7 games, 6 of them against Diamond Pilots. He's got that close game against Code and Tetris, otherwise just playing Jedi Luke and Mark, and he's a butt. Bahamut has played 4 games in the last couple of weeks.
Wait. Okay, I get that Ernie's a butt because he actually uses that as his pilot name sometimes.
Melvin's a butt because he only plays Jedi Luke and Mark. Bahamut has played 4 games, to undefeated against Bronze, of course. A game against Mark and a game against Lee. Mark playing a lot of EO lately. And yeah, that's about it. No games against Bronze Pilots, no close games, no dark horses, no threatening scores. So therefore, Bahamut must be a butt. And so we move on to Diamond, where we say hello to Jedi Luke, who has 29 games, 14-0 against Gold. Going down the list, I see against Bronze, 20-0 with 1 suicide in Lurk for a domination. 20-0 against Max with 1 suicide in Logic for a domination. Against Silver, 20-2 against Maestro with 3 suicides in Ascend for a domination. 20-4 against Phyrix in Logic for a domination. And against Gold, 20-8 against Deimos in Logic 2 for a domination. 20-4 against Deimos.
Hold on. I think Jedi Luke's getting turned on by this. The chat is very disturbing right now. This is very disturbing. I apologize. Continue.
$24 against Deimos with 2 suicides in Audacity for a domination. 27 against Melvin and 3 suicides in Logic for domination. 29 against Melvin and 2 suicides in Ascend X2 domination. 27 against Melvin with 1 suicide in Logic for a domination. 29 against Deimos in Logic for a domination. 23 against Deimos in Athena for a domination. 29 and 29 against Deimos 1 and 2 suicides, respectively, for Logic and Ascend. Domination. And that'll do it for Jedi Luke. Yeah, hasn't lost a single game. Hasn't had one close game, which we already mentioned with Deimos. And that's about it. And then we move on to Mark 39-2, playing 27 games in the last couple weeks. And he, too, has a list of dominations. Oh. And we will start in silver. No bronze dominations. Against silver, 20-5 against Maestro with 2 suicides. And EO for a domination. 24 with 5 suicides against Lee in Junebug for a domination. 24 against Maestro with 4 suicides in Viral 3 for a domination. 20-5 against Maestro with 3 suicides in Warzone for a domination. 25 against Maestro in Fleet with 1 suicide for domination. 23 against Maestro with 3 suicides in Junebug for a domination. 25 against Maestro, 5 suicides in Nocturnal for a domination. 25 and 1 suicide against Maestro in Swiss Cheese Sorrow for a DJ CJR. And a 24 against Maestro with 3 suicides in Salute for a domination.
What?
Moving on, in gold, we have Mark 39-2 playing 20-8 against Deimos in Junebug for a domination. 20-8 against Melvin with 5 suicides in Take 2 for a domination. 29 against Melvin with 4 suicides in Junebug for a domination. 20-10 against Deimos in Nocturnal, 0 suicides for a domination. And finally, 29 against Bahamut, 2 suicides in EO for a domination. And just for Maestro, I will say Maestro. There, I said his name. Okay, so hey, we're here to please the crowd. And as far as I'm concerned, that's all the relevant activity that has occurred in the last couple of weeks. There are no real significant matches, and as you can see, Morphat has not played any matches in the last 2 weeks, so we have no reason to talk about anything that Morphat has played in recent history. And for that, I think we should end the show. And my name is Morphat.
No, hold on. No, time out. Morphat. Hold on. First of all, we have to get to match of the week.
Well, we have the match of the week, yes, but I also forgot we don't have a website, and therefore we don't have an email address, so we cannot collect fan mail, so we'll have to figure out a solution for that.
Yeah.
Which means I cannot put questions, concerns, comments, or confessions, but nonetheless, we have match of the week. What do you think the match of the week should be?
I think the match of the week is Jedi Luke Deimos, 21-19.
With 8 suicides?
Yeah, and one of those suicides was critical because when Deimos was on game point, he suicided.
Mm.
Any word on Correlate 17? That's actually a very good question. I do know that they have started deliberating on it, but I don't think that they've come up with a solution yet. I might be able to poke Dracona and see what happens because it's been a week since anyone said anything on it. But yeah, it's coming. I don't think there's going to be too many surprises. So, yeah, that's about it for that. So we can at least talk about our Facebook page, right? We have that.
Oh yeah,
that's where you can send your questions, comments, concerns, and confessions.
Yeah, but I don't have the script in front of me, so I don't really know. Either way, you can find us on Facebook. You can find us at Twitter at what is it, SDS_podcast.
For Facebook, it's SDS Podcast. Facebook.com/SDS Podcast, and on Twitter we are at SDS_activated.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, concern, comment, or confessions, please direct all of those at those 2 media venues. Oh shoot, I just spilled everything. Soda everywhere. I am talented.
No wonder you lost 20-18 to Lady Silver.
What do you mean? This is Sprite, you dumb.
Anyway, if you or someone you love wants to get back into the game of Descent and turn Morphat into a dumpster fire, they can go to descentchampions.org/new_player.php where you can get all the information you need to get back into the modern game of Descent. And so what you're saying is Jedi no. Just no. We're going to ignore chat here, and I think we're going to sign off. Be sure to check out Facebook and Twitter for our next show. And until next time, I'm Runkley.
And I'm a dumpster fire.
We'll see you guys next week.